Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. It's Monday morning, March 22nd, 2021. March is flying by. Thank goodness last week is over. We had a lot going on last week with the FOMC, with options expiration, with lighter volume. Friday actually traded into double volume, and that's actually a big thing that I'm going to discuss today. We have roughly a dozen stocks that we're going to review today. We're going to get into the online gaming stocks, specifically Penn, DraftKings, and a couple of other ones. We're also going to talk about breakout stocks. We're going to talk about pullback stocks. We're going to talk about energy stocks, which actually had a pretty decent pullback last week, setting up new swing trades long today. But mainly what we're going to talk about is what's going on in the market. And I want to walk you through one of my primary scans that I run every single day prior to the market opening. I do my scanning, in case you don't know, I do it 7 p.m. at night and 7 o'clock in the morning, and I do a review. So when I scan at 7 o'clock at night, that's when I do the entire game plan. And you kind of need all that raw material to, okay, here's the big list of stuff that's interesting. And then 7 o'clock in the morning, like probably about 45 minutes from now, I'll go back in and I'll be like, okay, now that I'm looking at it with fresh eyes, did I see great trade setups and which ones will actually make my game plan? The point that I want to get across here, though, is one of the first scans, if not the first scan that I run every day, is which stocks traded double their normal volume yesterday. And I have other criteria, which you may or may not know, where it's average of 2 million shares per day and an excuse me, average true range of at least $1.50 per day. So it gives me liquidity and volatility. Normally that list is anywhere from 10 to 15 stocks. And then I go deeper and see if they're happening at breakout levels, or which I call fuel candlesticks. Or is it happening after a parabolic move? So in other words, large order flow, really large green candlesticks and double volume, or to the downside, selling order flow. Those usually call reversals. So large spikes like that, double normal volume at those particular price action levels or price action points, usually 10 to 15 stocks. Let's say 15, right? Coming into today for Friday's trading, which was options expiration, quadruple witching, we had 101 stocks that met that criteria. Almost 10 times the amount of stocks that traded double their normal volume. I sat up in my seat, took my coffee, and I was like, wait a minute, take another sip. And I'm like, did I read that right? And I looked at the scans and everything like that. So what does that mean? That means something big is coming. That means something big is about to happen. It could be to the upside, it could be the downside, but these are the clues. These are the ones where you need to preserve your capital if you don't see anything, which the market's you really need to be a stock picker right now. Something big is about to happen when that many stocks expand into double normal volume. Now, again, it was quadruple witching, so something different was going on last week. We're going to look for follow-through today. The market closed, the SPY ETF closed into a melted candle on Friday, and we'll take a look at what that means. It means the small body candlestick, which represented a lot of indecision. But individual stocks, 10 times the normal amount, traded double normal volume. Something big is coming. You want to be glued to this channel every day because we're going to be all over it. Remember what I told you. Small losses don't matter if you make enough when you're winners. That's where we're going to clean up and have what's the word? We're going to relieve all that stress from the last 4 weeks of having headaches where we're not getting follow through and taking some small losses. Once we pick cleaner direction, so 1 week to the next, we have higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs if you understand short selling. That's when we hold the winners, hang on for the ride, and those last 4 weeks of tension headaches that we've got vanishes because we made what we were supposed to on the winning trade. So I'm telling you right now, something big is coming. I'm not even saying I could feel it. I'm telling you it's coming based on the data. So today we're going to look at gaming stocks. We're going to look at some breakouts. We're going to look at some stocks that pulled back that were strong, and a couple of stocks that are a holdover from last week. So first I want to say, if you like these videos, definitely click down and give us a thumbs up. It'll let me know what kind of videos you like to watch. Also, if you can do me a favor, click subscribe. You'll get alerts for that as well. All right. So we're going to head over to the charts. We're going to first take a look at the S&P, and you can see what I mean here. zooming it out a little bit, it's a melted candle. Melted candle means it opened and closed in basically the same spot, and that's fine. But now what's interesting about this on the pullback, we're right around two key moving averages. So here's why I say something big is happening. The SPY ETF should hold here. If it does hold here, that should set up a really nice push to the upside and into new all-time highs. If we break down here again, where the 20 and the 50 period simple moving averages support does not hold, if it does not hold, something big is happening. And again, I want to get this across. We had a trade last week, and this is the difference between trading and being a chart reader. You don't want to be the best chart reader on the planet. You want to be the best trader on the planet. And a trader sets if-then scenarios. If this happens, then I'm doing this. If this happens, then I'm doing this. So we're setting up scenarios on both sides, which also means if you have longer-term swing trades or longer-term what you might call position trades, not investments where you're holding them forever, actively managed positions, you need to know that the SPY ETF right now is pulling back into the 20 and the 50 period simple moving average support. This is the second time it's done it. If it does it again and cracks, you need to respect risk. There's nothing wrong with being in cash. There's nothing wrong with pulling back on your share size. I'm giving you scenarios on both sides. If both of those moving averages hold and we get, again, well-bid candlesticks, higher highs and higher lows, which means from 1 week to the next, the smart money, the deep pockets are holding higher prices and buying higher, which makes higher highs and higher lows from 1 week to the next. Then we have a unique situation where all of this news is now priced in. Technology stocks starting to bounce, which you're going to get into that in a second. Facebook had a really good bounce last week. One of the members, Guy Sorrenti in our community, and Guy Lagasse both traded it pretty actively last week, Friday especially. We'll see if the technology rally holds. Do energy stocks find their footing again? If those things happen and technology starts to join, because actually NASDAQ futures are actually up higher right now. S&P futures are kind of flat to slightly negative. Then we could have an all-out rally where everything's on the same page. Financial stocks have been very strong. They got some bad news on Friday about bad news on Friday just before the market opened about what they have to hold and how long it expires on the 31st of March. So we'll see. They got some selling on Friday. We're going to look for some follow-through, but we're going to start out taking a look at DraftKings, Penn, and Caesars. Caesars and Penn going into the S&P 500, DraftKings floating right at all-time highs. So we're going to actually go over to the charts and take a look. So we're going to start out with DraftKings. And you can see here, this is the theme of the day, which is breakouts. Breakouts and new levels that we're looking for stocks to get to. DraftKings actually, on a day that the market was weak, on a day that the market showed indecision, it actually traded strong. You should be scanning for this every single day where relative strength, relative weakness from 1 week to the next, performance versus the S&P 500, performance versus the Dow, performance versus the NASDAQ. DraftKings closed strong and near all-time highs. You can see up here, this $72 level has got up there and failed, and now it's trading at 73 and change. We're going to be watching DraftKings today. Also, as we said, Caesars added to the S&P 500, massive volume on Friday, getting put in there today. So obviously, this is one of my favorite setups where the stock pushes lower, closes on the lows, consecutive days, 2 consecutive days. I'm looking for a snapback trade on the positive news. Remember when Tesla had the same exact news? It was a really strong move higher for the next probably about 4 to 6 weeks. And Penn, same thing. Penn actually a pretty decent pullback, traded into consolidation on Friday. So we're looking for both of these stocks to have a rally and test new all-time highs as well. Now, again, remember, we talked about EQR last week in one of our trades. It was actually trading into one of our favorite patterns, which is expansion into consolidation. And we said, if it rallies, it should rally hard out of this. If it trades lower, just leave it alone. That's trading. We're not trying to be chart readers. We're trying to be traders who take money out of the market. It traded lower. We let it go, and now it's still in the list today. Other stocks that we're looking at as far as breakouts, we actually mentioned, well, we got a bunch of stocks at significant levels. And you can see Facebook here, 285 was a big level that it needed to clear. It kept getting above there and failing, getting above there and failing. And you can see here the weekly chart was just an absolute mess. So I personally stayed away from it. It didn't meet my criteria. Plus, I didn't trade heavily on Friday. I don't trade options expirations over my career. I've found that to be a challenging day for me to make money. Now we get a close above that level. NASDAQ futures are strong. This is interesting. As long as it stays above 285 today, now I'm going to start looking for day trades first, and then I'm looking for the weekly chart to catch up and stay above this breakout level as well. Sticking with the breakout, we are looking at Wayfair needs to get above 340. It looks like it's going to open up a little bit below that. Above 340 is a big breakout level. Again, you can see the theme of breakouts here, right? Lowe's, 178 breakout level. Home Depot, 289, 290 breakout level. Kohl's, also getting into a little bit of retail here. You can see Kohl's actually going all the way back here into 2019 resistance. And now what I love about this trade is that it pushed above the resistance and now it's pausing. That's exactly what you want to see. A couple of stocks that are energy stocks that had really good runs pulled back recently. CVX, and one of my favorite patterns, if not a breakout, a pullback, and now pausing. And CPE, which actually had a better trade. Congratulations to a couple of members of the community that traded this break on Friday. And you can see why. Look at what it did here for the first few hours of the day as a day trade. Really good, clean move on Friday. So CPE and CVX looking for pullbacks to buy. CPE already started to move to the upside. Met, follow through from last Friday's list, meaning we're carrying it from one day to the next. It didn't trigger on Friday, so we're looking for a new trade today. And Philip Morris. Philip Morris actually traded into an inside candlestick after the breakout. Not the best. Into a melted candlestick. Not the best price action. You would have liked to have seen this breakout followed up by another well-bid candlestick, but the market was weak. The stock closed above the open, so I'm looking for follow-through in Philip Morris as well. So, again, I'm expecting the bank stocks, based on that news last week, to see a little bit lower price action again today. They are trading lower. It looks like NASDAQ pre-market is strong, but we're going to be focusing on those online gaming stocks, the online sports betting stocks. They seem to have the best juice right now with March Madness starting. And it seems like more good vaccine news, which is great to see. So if you have any questions about anything we talked about today, just keep in your mind something big is coming. The amount of stocks that traded double normal volume, we'll track that again today for tomorrow. Something big is coming. Breakouts are the trade of the day. I just gave you all the levels. Energy stocks on pullbacks. And I'm expecting financials to trade a little bit lower today as well. We'll see if that creates a buying opportunity in the next day or so, too. So have a great day, everybody. Give us a thumbs up if you like this kind of content and subscribe to the channel. And be awesome today. Challenge yourself to be better today than you were on Friday. Have a great day, everybody.